Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So the final day of spoiler season is here. Well, okay, like the Thursday was like kind of like the last day, but there's still like little tricklings in on this day, and we might see some more exciting things. Regardless, perhaps my most anticipated card of the entire set that I did not know was going to be here, but now it's my most exciting card. I love it. Let's jump into it. Mardu Siegebreaker. Okay, I am in love with this card. This is incredibly powerful, incredibly unique, and incredibly perfect for one of my favorite decks I've ever built. It's a 4/4 Human Warrior with Death Touch and Haste for 1 in Mardu colors. When it enters, exile to one other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. Whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tap token that's a copy of the exiled card attacking that opponent. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice those tokens. Very interesting, very unique, very specific card. Kind of like, alright, temporarily get rid of another creature, and then all of a sudden have it, like Myriad, basically, essentially. Now, this is combining a couple of my favorite things in Magic. First of all, I am a sucker for Fiend Hunter type effects. Those are the kinds of like, hey, I enter the battlefield, another one of my buddies leaves the battlefield, because you can do some really obnoxious, Fiend Hunter loops with those, where it's like, okay, I exile one Fiend Hunter, which exiles the other, which exiles the other, and I've got 3 in a loop that goes infinite, which is quite fun for me. Anyways, so having another Fiend Hunter essentially is always a great option. That being said, what's really cool about this, obviously, is, well, basically, again, when you have this ETB and attack immediately, because, again, it does have haste, you are right away getting 3 token copies of the exiled creature. So, basically, you're saying, okay, whatever this creature is that I want to make 3 copies of, yeah, it's going to go great. It's going to go amazingly, because I, all of a sudden, am going to get, again, well, maybe not the attack triggers, because they're already tapped at attacking, but, of course, ETB triggers and LTB as well if you sacrifice them, or if they, have, let's say, a combat damage trigger, that too. But yeah, let's just give a quick little example that's super easy to comprehend is, literally just Gary. Just Gary is just a game-ending card with this. I mean, Gary's a really good card, obviously, but like this plus Gary equals you probably win the game with like literally nothing else in play. Because Gary, again, drains each opponent based on your devotion to black, and Gary's got 2 devotion itself. And if you've got 3 copies of Gary, that's 6 devotion, plus the 1 that you're getting from Mardu Siegebreaker, that's 7 devotion in total. Yeah, for each of those Garys, that's 3 Garys entering, that's 21 life loss per opponent. You are gaining, 63 life, if my math is correct there, everyone out there. And of course, again, if the Mardu Siegebreaker ever leaves, regular Gary just comes back on its own too, so do keep that in mind. That being said, also, this is, like, repeatable. So, like, on each combat, you could do this. And, of course, if you've got multiple combats in a turn, you are getting this. So you can take advantage of this in so many different ways. Like, so many amazing ways. It is such a cool and unique card. And, again, you can take advantage of the fact that you're making tokens. There's only so many ways to make creature token copies of things outside of, like, blue, clone effects, essentially. But this one allows you to do so. And again, if you've got like populate effects, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll keep that token copy of, say, Gary or whatever it is around. I'm just using Gary as an example, but of course, if you've got like a really big attacker, you're like, okay, cool. This Eldrazi, all of a sudden, I'm swinging with 3 of them instead of just 1. You can do a lot of exciting things with this, a lot of really crazy cool things with this too. And maybe you've got like a commander that's got like a really cool death trigger. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, exile my commander with this, get 3 token copies of it, and 2 of those go away immediately. So, all of a sudden, I get those death triggers right then, too. You can do so many crazy cool things with this. It's such a unique card, and I am absolutely in love with it, and I'm just so excited to see what all of you do with it as well. Some other cool cards that were recently spoiled, just a few of them as well. 100 Battle Veteran, a very cool name, a very cool card. A 4/2 Zombie Warrior for 4 mana. As long as there are 3 or more different kinds of counters among creatures you control, it gets +2/+4. You may cast from your graveyard. If you do, it enters a finality counter on it. This is one that's probably, I'm not good at limited. I haven't played limited in a long time, but I imagine this could be quite good in limited. Again, being basically a 6/6 for 4 mana that you can get back out of your graveyard and do it again. So, yeah, I would assume that that's pretty good there. When it comes to, like, a commander deck, yeah, 6/6 for 4 really isn't, like, all that, oh, I gotta build around this kind of thing. And you can get it back out of your graveyard, sure, but there's obviously, if you're going that strategy, you're like, oh, I really like to get things out of my graveyard, either reanimating even bigger things, or you are using and abusing like a reassembling skeleton, and that's easier to do so with that. So it's a very cool concept. Maybe not a card necessarily for most commander decks out there. Next up, though, we've got defibrillating, if I could talk, current sorcery for either 6 mana or 3 mana, depending on what you're spending in there with Mardu. 4 damage, target creature or planeswalker, you gain 2 life. Again, probably more of a limited card. There's better removal out there. Next up, though, Lotuslight Dancers. This is yet another one of my favorite cards from the entire set. 2 of my favorite cards from the entire set, literally spoiled toward the last day. I absolutely love it. 3/6 Zombie Bard Lifelink for 5 mana in Sultai. When it enters, search life for a black card, a green card, and a blue card. Put those cards in your graveyard, then shuffle. Okay, so graveyard tutors. Yeah, we have seen them before, but I mean, here's the thing. I guess there's that one that's like the Gix, whatever one that's like 6 mana and you go get 3 artifacts and put them in your graveyard. Okay, that's very specific. You're still getting 3 things, which is great. But most of them, I'd say, like at 5 mana, like typically, or like 4 or 5 mana, you've got ones that are like, okay, go tutor up 1 card, put it in your graveyard, or 1 creature card specifically, put in your graveyard. This is like, no. Go get 3 separate things. Again, a black card, a green card, and a blue card. And again, it's not like monocolored versions of those, right? It's whatever kind of combination you need. So like if you've got, I don't know, a card that is all 5 colors, you can have that slot into any of those slots, which is amazing. So yeah, this is definitely the kind of card where I'm sure it could be, please, in the comments below, let me know. So I'm sure someone's already figured out a very simple combo that you just automatically win the game, essentially. You probably need some extra mana, obviously. But like ETB, tutor up these 3 cards, they're on your graveyard. You probably have got, one of them to cast something into your graveyard, from it, essentially. And then you combo with the other 2. That's probably how it's going to go if you are going in a super hyper combo-y way. That being said, you don't need to build a combo around this for it to be an amazing card, obviously. I mean, just like think about this in a Muldrotha deck. Okay, ETB. Great. All right, awesome, you're in the battlefield. Let me go tutor up 3 of my favorite cards from my library, 3 different kinds of permanents, 1 of each of those colors, so I can then utilize them with Muldrotha, maybe in the exact same turn. And of course, also, since this is a permanent itself, I can keep getting it back out of my graveyard with Muldrotha. Just an example of one commander that can hyper-utilize a card like this. But yeah, even if you've got like a different kind of deck, like a reanimation style deck, cool. Okay, go tutor up 3 creatures that are 1 of each of those colors, and go put them in your graveyard that are the perfect creatures for you in the situation that you're in. Or if you've got some flashback cards or other kinds of cards that you can use out of your graveyard as well, yeah, go get those. It's a very cool ETB. I mean, it's absolutely a unique card, and I love it. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it, but it's just such a cool concept, and there's so many different kinds of opportunities for it. It's not like one of those ubiquitous cards. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so push, slam it in every single deck out there. No, there's plenty of decks out there where it's like, okay, why am I getting my best cards into my graveyard? It's not really going to help me with that. No. You want this in the right kinds of decks, but the right kinds of decks out there are just absolutely loving this. And of course, there's definitely some decks out there that can just build entirely around this and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to build miscellaneous Lotuslight Dancers combo deck, because why not? I mean, if you're in more of a casual setting, maybe ask your playgroup first about that, but still, yeah, it's just a very spicy, awesome card. Okay, and I've already mentioned this on a few other episodes, but I just want to make sure I'm mentioning it again. Spoiler season has been a bit hectic for me, so I have been still playing catch-up on some spoilers, and I believe this is the last of the times I'm going to have to mention that, because on this episode I'm covering the rest of the spoilers that I missed. Hopefully I didn't miss any since then, but yeah, let me know in the comments below if I miss anything, if you've seen all the episodes so far. Anyways, here we go. Taigam, Master Opportunist, a 2/2 human monk for 2 mana in blue. Blurry, whenever you cast your second spell, each turn copy it, then exile the spell you cast with 4-time counters on it. If it doesn't suspend, it gains suspend. I mean, this seems like a, way to just win with extra turns very, very easily. Again and again and again. I'm going to be on the lookout for this one. I did not realize this one existed. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Because, obviously, there's plenty of low-to-the-ground cantrips in blue. You're just like, okay, cool, yeah. Play my low-to-the-ground cantrip, second spell of the turn. Time Warp. Cool. All right. Yeah. All right, we did that. Okay, cool. cast that extra turn spell in 4 more turns. Maybe I've got some ways to manipulate those counters, but of course I've got an extra turn now, and maybe I've got another way to dig into another extra turn spell, which then I'm going to do the exact same thing in the next turn, and then the next turn, and then the next turn. Even if you're not going extra turns, obviously, there's just some crazy powerful things that you can do just by, again, being able to just exiling the spell, that you just keep doing again and again and again. Because, I mean, and also kind of point out with those extra turn spells, too, because you are copying it, right? You are copying the spell, and you're exiling the original spell that you cast, you can just keep doing that. You just, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, okay, cool, that one that has, again, that one that has, exile when it resolves, it doesn't exile when it resolves, because you were literally just being like, oh yeah, it's not resolving, it's just getting copied, then going away, and then it's coming back. And then on that next turn, I'm sure you can just cast them before it anyways, too, before it goes out to suspend. So, yeah, gross. Taigam, you can definitely be built in a more friendly Spellslinger way, I would say, but, I am aware that you are definitely one that would be extra turny. So, yeah, at least tier 3 or tier 4, basically? I think it's tier 4, technically, if you're, going extra. So, yeah, out there. Oh, goodness gracious. Moving on. Snow Melt Stag, not tier 4. 2/5, elemental elk with vigilance for 4 mana in blue. During your turn, this creature has base power and toughness 5/2. By paying 7 mana in total, it can't be blocked this turn. Yeah, this is more of a limited card. I don't know what to say about this, really. Okay, cool. It's an elk. Can't be blocked by paying an absurd amount of mana. Next up, Stalwart Successor, a 3/2 human warrior with menace for 3 mana in Golgari. Whenever one more counters are put on a creature you control, the first time this counter is put on that creature this turn, put a +1 counter on that creature. So this one is interesting that it doesn't matter what kind of counter that they are getting. They also get a +1 counter on them. Again, it does say if it's the first time this turn, so it is limited to that. So, my first thought if it didn't have that was oh, persist. There you go. Not quite. Yeah, I mean, the first time with the persist, it could come right back and then cancel out those counters. But being able to, just get extra additional free counters on things, that's obviously a very powerful thing. It is more limited than some of the other effects that are every single time, like Hardened Scales. But it does, again, kind of apply to any kind of counter. So, again, if you put a flying counter on something, cool, you still get a +1 counter as well. So, it's a very powerful card. Definitely going to see play in a lot of +1 counter builds. Any of these kind of, adding additional, things to it, it's going to be quite great. Next up, Tiber Devotee. We've seen a couple different iterations of this. A 3/3 Defender, Human Druid for 2 mana in blue. And it filters mana. Activate only once each turn. Wizards, let Johnny's Johnny. Stop activating only once each turn, please. Okay, anyways, it's more of a limited card. Next up, Salty Devotee does the exact same thing, but basically it's got 2 on Death Touch, so yeah, I would say, again, another limited card, but Death Touch Tribal, potentially, because there's only so many. I guess there's a decent amount these days, but low to the ground, Death Touch creatures, if you're looking for one that can filter mana once a turn, then utilize it, because again, Death Touchers, are good low to the ground creatures in those kinds of decks, obviously, that revolve around Death Touch. Next up, Sultai Monument. Again, we've gone through 3 of these so far, I think. Artifact for 2. Enders, go get a basic swamp, forest, or island, and you can pay 5 tap and sacrifice, make 2 2/2s, activate a sorcery. Again, more of a limited card. It's not really worth it overall. You're not ramping. You're just, fixing your mana a little bit, and also, ensuring you hit a land drop, which is nice, but not all that great. There's better things out there. Rampant growth, obviously. But, yeah, you're not willing to just pay in total, okay, 7 mana in total to get 2 2/2s, and also 1 land. Cool. No, not quite. Next up, Tiber Monument. Again, same thing. 2 mana, enter the battlefield, basic forest, island, or mountain into your hand. Pay 6 mana, tap in total, and to sacrifice, get a 5/5 elephant. Again, in total, literally 8 mana for a 5/5 and 1 land into your hand. Not worth it. So skip these in Commander. Unless you've got a very weird deck built around something like this. Maybe you've got, all artifacts that ETB. And, okay, cool. Maybe that could help you out. But outside of that, yeah. Next up, Sunset Strike Master. A 3/1 human monk that costs 2 mana in red. It can tap for a red. You don't typically see too many mana dorks in red, just straight up red. But you do now, apparently. Pay 3 and tap and sacrifice creature, deal 6 damage to our creature flying. Again, probably more of a limited card. Maybe you've got a weird, not weird. Maybe you've got a very specific, interesting, red mana dork tribal deck. If so, good for you. Congratulations. Next up, Strategic Betrayal. A sorcery for 2 mana in black. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their entire graveyard. they get to pick what they lose, and this is also sorcery speed, unless you really care about getting rid of graveyards, which, yeah, it's good to get rid of graveyards, obviously, but, like, there's other cards that are more flexible at doing so, essentially, and don't just have to commit to this entirely. You'd probably rather just stick to those versus something that's like, okay, that opponent's got 6 creatures. They're gonna pick their worst creature to get rid of. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Next up, the Sibsig Ceremony, a legendary chimp for 3 mana in black. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Yes! Whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast, destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Ouch! Okay, so this is basically a new version of Heartless Summoning, which is super spicy. I absolutely love that. Do keep in mind, obviously, massive downside in a way, but also upside. I mean, in a way like an aristocrat style deck could just probably slot this in and be like, this is awesome, cool, why not? Because once you're set up properly, I guess it's a bit of a risk to do so. But once you're set up properly and you're like, I'm just trying to make more creature fodder. If my creatures die, that's great. So all of a sudden you're just, having those creatures die, automatically getting all the, death triggers, and then also replacing them with a 2/2 that you can then get death triggers from as well. Yeah, that can be quite nice. Obviously, there's a downside to that. Like, if your board gets swept, then you might be in a bit of trouble. But, I mean, unless you've got reanimation effects, then you're fine, too. This one, though, also do keep in mind, again, if you have a reanimation deck, you might not care all that much. You're like, okay, cool, yeah, I get to cast my creatures. I get whatever, death trigger they might have. I can reanimate them out of the graveyard, and they're just going to come back fine. So it'll be quite nice. Make some 2/2s. But where this really can see play, though, is like a very weird, like, okay, like, indestructible deck. Like, if you've got a bunch of indestructible creatures, you're like, all right, cool. All my creatures cost 2 less to cast now. Like, if you got, like, a God's deck, and they're all, I mean, this is a very specific mana cost, obviously. But, or, like, just a command. If you've got, like, a Voltron commander that is indestructible inherently, too, and you're like, yeah, cool, I don't care that, like, it's going to destroy it, because I can just save it. And all of a sudden, because it's indestructible, and, yeah, I just make a 2/2. On top of my creatures costing 2 less. So it's very interesting, very unique, very weird. I'm sure there's other types of decks out there I'm not thinking about right now that this would be perfect for, but yeah, it's a really cool card. I absolutely love the design of this, and I love to see what, again, everyone out there starts brewing around this, because it's a very brew-worthy card. Moving on, though, to some other lost spoilers, some other spoilers that I, again, did not get the chance to get around to, but now I am, and here we go. Ureni song, Unending, 10/10 Spirit Dragon, flying text from white and black for 8 mana in Teamer. This is the song that, please don't sing that if you're playing this, Commander. Okay. Anyways, when it enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponent's control, or X number of lands you control. I mean, this is a heavy hitter for 8 mana, a 10/10, again, pro-white, pro-black. So, yeah, it costs 8 mana, but it's going to hit, I mean, technically, right, like a 3-shot KO, but come on. You're going to be able to easily get this to a 2-shot KO just with 1 extra power, and a 1-shot KO, and your opponents better be praying that they're not playing, Orzhov. If they are, they're like, I can't deal with it. But yeah. 1-shot KO very easily. Again, you've got double strike type effects. You've got, doubling power type effects. And of course, on ETB, you've got blink effects as well, in blue especially, where you can really use and abuse that ETB. And of course, you're in green, so you can make a ton of lands. You can get this out quite quickly again with your ramp package if you're just ramping a ton, which also plays well into you wiping the board again and again and again. Yeah, again, it gets held back, obviously, with that huge mana value. Like, anything at 8, like, it better just kind of end the game-ish, basically, or just be, like, the most unstoppable force of all time. Protection white from black, that's very nice, obviously. It's going to stop him being moved from a lot of things. It still isn't perfect, obviously, in a way. And it's a huge mana investment. It's a great ETB when it happens right away. Yeah, it is still a bit limited in what you're going about doing. You're going to want to give it haste, you're going to swing right away, and you're going to want to finish your opponents off immediately. You're literally going to want probably to have, like, the double strike type effect already in play, the haste effect right in play, and literally just go, okay, yeah, I've got, Rising of the Day, whatever that one is, the +1/+0 for legendary creatures and haste, and then also, Blood Mist, or whatever that is. Like, okay, give a creature, double strike on combat. Cool, alright. Comes in play, I swing. I take that player out. Awesome. All right. I also took out the other player's army over there, too. It can also obviously give it haste. Like, you can also take out the army that's about to block it as well, or at least parts of them, too. Death Touch could be a nice thing to give it to as well. Obviously, it's going to be trickier, I think, because I don't know if there's... like, attacking typically with green... I'm trying to think of other ways to give it Death Touch, like, just inherently when it ETBs. I don't know if there's too many. There's probably some ways to do it, but, like, not too many ways I wouldn't think. But, yeah, it could be a great way to take out, obviously, just one ping at a time creatures. It's a very spicy commander. It costs 8. It's up there, but, yeah, it could definitely hit incredibly hard. Moving on. Underfoot Underdogs. Cool name. 1/2 Goblin Warrior for 3 mana in red. Enters, create a 1/1. Pay 1, tap, target control, power 2 less, can be blocked this turn. It's not nearly efficient enough, unfortunately. At 3 mana, you probably want 3 creatures instead of 2. So when it comes to, like, go wide strategies, even goblin strategies, you probably want a little bit more than that. Next up, Undergrowth Leopard. A 2/2 cat, vigilance for 2 mana. Pay 1, sacrifice to target artifact or enchantment. We got a lot of other one of these kinds of, creatures that's like, okay, get in play, sacrifice it. Like, the Phyrexian one's probably the best these days when it comes to that kind of stuff. They're 3/2 that also, like, could proliferate. This one, obviously, if you're in a cat deck, though, there you go. Congratulations. It's exactly where you want to be playing this. Or if you have, like, a Vigilant deck, there you go. Cool. Next up, Unrooted Ancestor. 3/2 Spirit Cleric with Flash for 3 mana. Pay 1, sacrifice a creature. This creature gains indestructible turn, tap it. More of a limited card, really. Like, again, when it comes to sacrifice outlets, yeah, it's nice to have one that protects itself, obviously. That's great, but you have to pay to actually sacrifice those creatures, and typically, unless you're getting, like, a really big benefit, you want to be able to have that to be a free benefit. So, yeah, like, Yahenni, obviously better, because Yahenni's just, like, freely sacrifice things, and I'm indestructible, and also I grow, and I kill people, and I take them out. Yay, good for me. Next up, Ureni's Rebuff. A sorcery for 2 mana, return to our creature's close hand, harmonize, very much a limited card. Yeah, there's a lot better bounce effects out there, obviously, that aren't nearly as limited. Next up, Watch of the Wayside. A 3/2, very cute looking golem that looks sad. Golem for 3 mana. When it enters, target player mills 2 cards, you gain 2 life. Incredibly limited card. Yeah, next up, Whirling Stormbrood for 3 dragon for 5 mana. It's got an omen, put 3 counters to our creature control for 3 mana in green. Flash flying. You may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells that have flash. Interesting. Okay, so this one is, again, we've seen like better omen effects on other ones. We've seen worse ones as well, but we've definitely seen better ones. But this isn't one where, like, I don't think a dragon deck would be like, oh, like, I really, really want to use this because the omen. Versus other ones are like, yeah, that's, like, card advantage. Like, on it, I could just utilize that if I need to, or removal. This is like, oh, okay, like, a slight pump. Okay, not really worth it all that much. But the whole, like, oh, I basically get, again, sorcery spells and dragon spells at flash speed, which for a dragon deck might just be basically like a Vidalcan Ori for you for the most part, depending on, what your build is and how many, outside of sorcery and dragon spells you have. Most of your deck's just going to be flash speed then, if not all of it. And so you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I might just include this because it's 4/3 I can flash in for, and again, or dragon deck, 4 mana, and just be like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just playing it instant speed now. Great, good for me. Disgusting. Again, like, it's very tough to make. I don't think it'll probably make the cut. My gut doesn't say it's gonna make the cut in a lot of dragon decks, but like it very well might. But like, there's so many spots being taken up in dragon decks these days because dragons have so many great cards to pick from. I mean, maybe the fact that the mouth, the face looks like a shark mouth. I mean, maybe they'll just push it through. There you go. It looks like a shark. It's really cool, right? Like sharks and dragons, cool. Include it. I don't know. It's a card that again is like kind of on the line. It's like it's not quite there, but maybe it is for some. Yeah, we'll see. It just depends on how much you care about playing it instant speed, I guess. Wingspan Stride, or for a single blue mana enchant creature +1/+1 flying, you can pay 3 to bounce it back to its owner's hand. I mean, this one is one where, like, if you have, like, an aura strategy, or, like, you really want to get a creature through, like, some people are more okay with, like, utilizing auras to do so. Aura strategy, especially, enchantress strategy, especially, it's a lower the ground card, which is great. The whole, like, bring it back to your hand. Yeah, enchantress strategy can use and abuse that, but that, like, paying 3 mana is quite a bit. There's better enchantments out there that cost a bit less to kind of bounce back to your hand to do so. That being said, yeah, maybe if you're just, like, in blue and you want to do that, then sure. Next up, Winter Night Stories. A sorcerer with 3 mana in blue, draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards, unless you discard a creature card, and then harmonize for 5 mana in total. Yeah, I mean, draw 3, discard 2, maybe discard even just 1 is not too bad at 3 mana. Sorcery speed, like, usually you'd want that to be in speed, but you can harmonize to get it back again, and again, being able to just cast it for basically, like, let's say 4 mana in total, because if you, tap, for 4 power, you can cast it out of your graveyard again for just 1. Draw 6, discard 4, or discard, basically, 2. If you discard 2 creature cards, that's a very efficient way to draw a lot of cards. So, yeah, I could definitely see playing the right strategy out there. Next up, Yathan Tombguard, a 2/3 human warrior with menace for 3 mana in black. Whenever creature control with a counter on it Deals combination to a player. You draw a card, you lose 1 life. Yeah, I mean, counter strategists can definitely consider this one. It itself isn't granting any counters. It is evasive itself, which is quite nice. So if you get a counter on it, it can definitely get through. That being said, yeah, if you've got a counter strategy and you're looking for an extra way to gain some card advantage potentially, and you're okay with some life loss, you can definitely utilize a card like this, as long as you got some ways to get those creatures through, obviously. Next up, and finally, Venerated Stormsinger. Oh, these are always going to see play. A 3/3 Orc Cleric with Mobilize 1 for 4 mana in black. Whenever this creature or another creature controlled dies, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Blood Artist deck. We are nearly there, I am sure. At one point, again, we are literally just going to have like 36 lands and 63 plus the commander, Blood Artist effects. That's literally what we're going to have. Like, literally just like, okay, everything's a Blood Artist. And I just say Blood, this is more like Zulaport Cutthroat, obviously. But basically, again, like just having all these like creature dies drain, we are getting an absurd amount of those lately. Wizards just like, I don't know, they open the floodgates of it. They're like, players like Taste of Karlov. All right, note taken. Over the next 5 or 6 years, let's just put out an absurd amount of Blood Artist effects. Oh my goodness. It is just absurd. It seems like every other set or every set we are getting one. It's just insane. But yeah, obviously, are you an Aristocrat style deck? Consider it. I don't know if it's going to make the cut nowadays with all the other Blood Artist effects, Zulaport Cutthroat effects, but again, yeah, the nice thing about this one is that obviously it only affects your own creatures, right? But it does drain all of your opponents, so that's quite nice. And of course, this one, if you are willing to send it into combat, which I would do so safely, typically, you obviously can make creatures with it that you're sacrificing to drain opponents, which of course benefits you in Aristocrat-style strategy anyways, which is what you're going to be doing. So, yeah, it's going to see a good amount of play just because it is another Zulaport Cutthroat, one that also brings a friend along. So, there you go. Blood Artist deck, we are getting there, apparently. One day we will get there, and it's going to be a disgusting deck where it's just like, another Blood Artist, another Blood Artist, another Blood Artist. I mean, maybe you need a little bit of creature fodder in there, but maybe that's what like your lands are for. You got like creature lands, and you got like things that can lands that can make creatures, that kind of stuff, or maybe a commander that makes a bunch of tokens. Whatever it is, all the Blood Artists in the world deck. It's gonna happen someday. And with that, this episode is come to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support.